Hi, my name is Jessica Steele-Menard. I'm the CEO of Steele Social Media, and we do B2B marketing. And today we're going to do a very quick review of Known by Mark Schaefer, the handbook for building and unleashing your personal brand in the digital age. And really, rather than a review, I should say I'll give you what I think the main takeaway is. So you don't necessarily have to read the book if you don't want to, but you definitely can. I'll link it in the comments. Mark goes into the very traditional ways, I would say, of getting known in your industry. And I think the most important takeaway there is to make sure that you're focusing on a niche within that industry that's specific enough that you're not competing against a horde of people. And I say to do that both as a business and as a person trying to become, quote, known. I think that either way, you want to make sure that you're curating your content and the perception of your business or yourself as someone who's an expert in a niche within a niche, maybe, or within an entire industry. An example of that might be myself. So I focus on a small niche of marketing, B2B marketing specifically, especially tech and service-based businesses. And businesses trying to make marketing that actually works in client acquisition. So taking some of the things that are working in B2C and applying that with a professional twist to the B2B world. So in that way, that's very specific, and it's, a different take on things slightly. And I think that's Mark Schaefer's really most important point in that book. And I mean, there's also the traditional things he goes into, like speaking, writing a book, creating content, and those type of things. But I think as a marketer, you'll probably have those already down. It might be a good book to give to someone who is a CEO or someone who's trying to become a thought leader in a business or your business, but might not have that background in marketing and need some context behind that. In that case, I would definitely recommend it. There's some tips that he goes into the tactics behind defining if it's niche or not, and you definitely don't want it too small where it's too specific, obviously. And there's things you can do like SEO, keyword search, popularity, and looking on Amazon and seeing the other people who might have wrote a book about that topic. If you're in the industry and if you're thinking about trying to make yourself more well-known, then you probably already have kind of a gut idea of where your expertise might match a need there. So definitely think about that as you're curating your content for your business. Definitely make sure that you select a few people in your business to become quote unquote known. And that's my suggestion, not from the book, to make sure that you're developing a relationship between them and your target audience, and doing that in a way that's showing, that person, he or her, knowledge and authority and those basic things, but also showing their personality and showing that they understand the needs of your prospects in an emotional way too, showing they're human, showing their faults. You don't have to be a robot to be professional. Everyone's human, and in B2B relationships, it really comes down to making that connection, even though it is in a professional environment. So definitely think about those things as you evolve your marketing strategy, and feel free as always to leave questions in the comments, and I promise I will get back to you there. And obviously keep following for more book reviews. If you have a suggestion for a book review that you're not sure if you want to read yet, or just want to know some thoughts, leave that in the comments as well, and I'll check them out. So thanks.